Alright guys, how's it going? We're doing some quick little video because I wanted to remain a little bit more active on the channel and I wanted to talk about something that has been bugging me. I'm not gonna lie, it's been really freaking bugging me. There's nobody else that can understand this, there's nobody else that can wrap their head around this. I can't talk to anybody else about this, so I thought maybe the people that would understand are people that play Path of Exile and people that spend a lot of time on the internet, so I thought I'd share it with you. Now, we won't name names. We'll keep people anonymous. But basically, we've known that this person about 10 years, right? And this was revealed on live stream. We had I think it was about 12 people in the stream at the time. It's like almost like people can sniff out drama. And I've known this person about 10 years, and everything's been fine. We have like a group of friends that play games, and obviously we've never really met up or anything. Um, Never met up or anything, just purely online playing games. It's been that type of friendship. Now, when you know somebody for like 10 years, or however long it's been, it's pretty close to 10, I'd say, you speak a lot, right? You speak a lot, you talk about whatever, it doesn't have to be game related. I'm pretty sure after a couple of years, you slowly stop talking about games and you talk about real life and all this sort of stuff, so you get to know the person pretty well. Now, the reason I'm making this is because it's irritated me, right? There's no way to make contact with this person. Um, so I've just basically given up on the situation. So I thought, fuck it, why not? I may as well explain it. Um, Normally I play in a group of about 3 people playing games. People on the stream may have noticed it's now 2. Right, so the whole deal, again, I'm waffling, but I'm trying to think of a way to word this without sounding like too much of a dick, is effectively the person we were playing with for about 10 years was recently found out to be RMTing. RMTing is a sort of thing in a game where you buy the stuff that you want to drop instead of playing the game. Now, saying this out loud, this sounds very, very petty. This sounds like, why the fuck would you care if somebody RMTs? Frankly, I don't really care if somebody RMTs. If that's what you want to do, that's what you want to do. So saying it out loud, people are going to think you're petty. You know, it's over the top. Who gives a shit? But when you've spoke to somebody for about 10 years and you've all played together for about 10 years, it becomes a little bit more than that. Maybe you're understanding that, maybe you're not. But the point is that a couple of weeks ago, I think it was about 3 weeks ago, um, this is, again, it sounds really petty saying it out loud. A pair of boots dropped. Now, we've always had this thing since playing Path of Exile, since the dawn of time, that if you're playing together in a party or you're in the same room and you're all mapping or whatever, if something drops that's worth more than an exalt, you split it. Because if you get an exalt drop, it's a nice little pick me up. It's a nice little, hey, there's a nice drop. That's 50 chaos for yourself. It dropped for you. We always play perma allocation, and that's it, right? So that's how it's been going. That's the way it's been going for ages. Now, if you get more than an exalt drop, like a Shavs, an old Combs heart, hell, I think it was like that helmet. I can't think of the name of the helmet. You get any of these type of drops, these 5 exalt, 2 exalts, a Death's Hand, a pair of Death's Doors boots drop, right? You split them, and that's always been the case. When you're playing in a new league and something drops and you're playing together and you're like, wow, that was worth 3 exalts, boom, you've each got an exalt and a half. You sell it and you give each other the money. That's just the way it's worked forever. Sort of a little code, and that's just the way we've abided to it, and that's how we've played games forever. So that's to explain the situation, right? So hopefully you're sort of grasping like this is 10 years, this is people that have known each other a long time, we always split, blah blah blah. Now, recently in this league, this is the first league again that this has happened, was a pair of Death's Doors boots dropped, right? A pair of Death's Doors boots dropped, and they were worth, I think at the time, about 6 exalts. I wasn't online, right? This is nothing to do with me. I wasn't online. So I don't know about this. And we're playing along, and X person comes in, and he mentions that he's got a load of currency. He's doing really well in the league. He's already got 2-6 links. We're 2 days into the league. He's had insane RNG. And he's got 2-6 links, and he found a pair of boots for 6 exalts and he sold them. Right? So he goes offline, whatever, I can't remember the specifics, and he's not in TeamSpeak, and I'm with the other guy, right? Now, the other guy, I'm playing along, and I don't know this item was found with those two people in the party. Okay, and I know this sounds petty, but you've got to understand, like, we've known each other years, right? So I explain, like, yeah, he's got some currency to buy some shit. Like, he found a pair of death's doors. It's pretty sick. They were worth 5 exalts. To which he goes, he fucking sold those death's doors. Are you kidding me? And I'm like, what do you mean? He's like, well, we found them together. They're worth 5 exalts, because this was like really early on in the league when they were selling for that. And he had nothing. He joined the league late because I don't think he was on at the league start. And yeah, and I'm like, yeah, he sold them. He got the currency for them. You know, why? He's like, well, I found them with him. I found them with him, right? And I'm like, oh, did he not split it with you? And he's like, no, he just said nothing and left. That's why I presume they were worth nothing. Because typically, if something drops, right, and it's worth nothing, you would never say anything, right? Because you don't have to split it because it's worth nothing. I need to stop running around in circles. So he's a bit miffed about this, right? He's just joined the league. He's finally had a good drop. He's pretty broke in the league. He's been playing quite a while. And he's a bit annoyed that this guy's effectively just, I guess, jacked 2.5 exalts. Because it's not the fact that some guy's jacking 2.5 exalts. It's not the fact it dropped for him or whoever. It's the fact that we've played so long together that realistically, you wouldn't want to be a dick to somebody that you've known for like 10 years, right? If you've known somebody for such a long time and a good drop happens, you want to be like pleased for each other. You play games together to, like, I don't know, sort of be pleased for each other, like to help each other get fed, to help each other enjoy the game, right? But this person just jacked them, which obviously made him a little bit annoyed. So then, blah blah blah. It's like high school stories, but we go into. I go into TeamSpeak and I'm like, yo, did you find those Death's Doors boots and just sell them, even though you knew they were worth? And he was like, yeah, why? And I'm like, oh, well, you know, he's going to be a little bit pissed about that, isn't he? He's going to be a little bit fucking pissed off. And he's like, oh, well, fuck him, you know, fuck him, whatever. Which is a bit of a weird way to treat somebody that you know, right? To just say, fuck him. Because you've known this guy for such a long time. You're meant to be friends. You're meant to help each other out. Why would you just be such a dick to this guy? Right? So that's whatever. It sort of lets it slide. Nothing really happens for about a week. Sort of forget about it. Nothing really happens. Then, a week later, I am streaming. Right? This is what the person that is currently ignoring me doesn't seem to grasp. I'm being honest. They don't seem to grasp it. I was streaming at the time this was revealed. We had about 12 people in the chat. And I wasn't even at my PC. The day this happened, and I'm giving you detailed background story so you understand the situation. Because if I was just to tell you what happened, it would sound dumb. So it was my dad's birthday, and normally we go out. We didn't go out this time, and I was streaming, and my dad comes upstairs. He's like, yo, we're going to get some takeaway or something, just a pizza or something like that, whatever. So I'm like, all right. And I go into TeamSpeak. The two people are in TeamSpeak, and I leave a message, and I say, it was my dad's birthday, gonna go get some pizza. I'll be back in about an hour, right? And then I come back, and my Twitch chat's exploding, all talking about RMT. People are messaging me going, who's this, blah, 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 what's going on, the drama. And then I come back, and I look at TeamSpeak. One person has left. The guy in question is still in TeamSpeak muted, and I can see a link, and the link is to a profile. This profile, when I open it up, reveals that since the dawn of time, he's been buying hundreds of exalts, right? So all the time, he's come into TeamSpeak, and he said, blah, 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 holy shit, I just got this insane piece of luck. I was doing this, and then this dropped, and then I managed to fuse it. None of that's ever happened. Well, maybe it happens sometimes, but for the vast majority, this person has been buying his currency and still sharing with us, right? So, since the very beginning, League, what was the League? I think it was like Ambush League, and then it was like Torment League. been buying 20 exalts, 25 exalts, 10 exalts, 5 exalts at a pop, right? So all the time he's been saying he's been getting lucky and getting fed and making up these stories, none of this has been happening. Which takes me aback a little bit. I'm kind of like, right. People in Twitch chat have listened to the VOD. So I stopped the stream and I re-download the VOD, or I replay it back to hear exactly what was said in TeamSpeak, because I was still streaming at the time. Now, person 1 comes in and he basically says, did you trade those boots? Did you trade those boots and not give me half? Player 2 goes, yeah, I did. Fuck you. Who gives a shit? RNG, motherfucker, my drop, who cares? Right? This obviously pisses off player 1. They've known each other a long time. We've always played with the same fundamental whatever gentleman's agreement that if it's over an exalt you split. And everyone gets really pissed off. He then decides to reveal that he knows he RMTs. Right? He RMTs. So which he explains like, well, basically, if you want to be that much of a dick, I'll be a dick to you. He was like, check this link out in TeamSpeak. Here's your profile. I know you RMT. The reason I know you RMT is because you sold your League of Legends account on one of these forum-y type things. And when you click feedback, you can see all the feedback from your trades. And that's how I know it's your account, because you sent it to us and we saw the feedback. And I'm like, right, okay, it's definitely him. He's definitely RMT. And still, I'm not really that bothered about it. Like, from my experience, we've always split the drops. Now, I understand that what this can be like is it's a little bit mental, right? To me, honestly, it's a little bit mental. And the only reason I'm talking about this is because I'm pretty sure the friendship is gone. He won't talk to me. He's gone completely social media blackout. He's blocked me off everything. And I've tried to make contact with him in an adult way, and he won't listen. So, yeah, the whole RMT thing got revealed, and I basically said, like, it's almost like stealing in a way. That's the way I see it. He's come up and he's made these stories about how he's got X amount of drops and he's got lucky, but for the whole 5 years or whatever, 10 years we've been playing, I guess it's like 4 or 5 years PoE, every time something big has dropped, every time something crazy has dropped, like a sick item, like a 5 Exalt Soul Taker or whatever, he's made us split it, right? But the whole time this is going on, he's buying exalts and he's funding his build and he's buying his build, which just makes a whole mockery of the game. We're playing this game for drops. We're trying to be friends. We're trying to play together, have a good time in parties. But the whole time he's taking half of whatever drops, and he's not telling us that he's actually buying shit. I wouldn't give a shit if this guy went, you know what, I don't really have time to play PoE that much. I don't really like the grind factor. What I like to do is I just like to get the equipment going and keep it on the low down. I buy it, but if something big drops, don't split it with me because I'll be buying it anyway. That's absolutely fine if he wants to do that. But the fact he makes up all these stories about finding these drops, you know, he'll come in singing a song about some sick RNG he's had, yet he's made it all up, makes me feel a bit uneasy, to be honest. Like, I don't know, it just seems weird that the whole time we've been playing, he's been sort of doing this behind our back, and I don't really understand why, because we're completely honest with each other. We always share shit, we always talk about shit, so I don't understand why he couldn't just be honest. Maybe he didn't want to tell us that he was doing it, and I get that. But it still fucking pissed me off, right? But whatever, I let it go. I don't really mind it. If he wants to do that shit, that's fine. He hasn't really ever done anything to me. It was the other guy that he stole the boots off or whatever. Or whatever. It's fine. So I hit him up and I say, yo, I just found out what happened through the live stream VOD. If you want to talk about it, we can do. If you just want to take a break, I'll give you some space. Pretty adult way to handle the situation, I thought. No response for about 2 weeks. He's ignoring me on every single game, Battle.net, Steam, PoE, Facebook. We've known each other a long time, so he's completely blanking me. This is a person I've spent thousands of hours talking to, so he's completely blanking me. And I think fine. Whatever, I'll still be a nice guy. I'll message him again. Okay, I think it was like a little bit before Christmas. I said, don't really understand why you're ignoring me. I haven't done anything wrong. It was X person that revealed you did that. I had nothing to do with it. I wasn't even at my PC at the time. I find it a little bit rude that you're ignoring me after all these years. I just wanted to say, hope you have a Merry Christmas. Hope you have a good day tomorrow. But that's all I've got to say. I think that was quite a reasonable way to handle the situation. Trying to be, a bit grown up and handle the situation. I wanted to talk about it. It doesn't really bother me. I've still got no problem with the guy. But he wants to ignore me. And I thought that was a reasonable way to give him a way to talk towards. Like, say, for some reason, he just felt like a bit of a dick, like, for doing it. And he didn't really know how to talk to us after. I thought I'll give him an in type of thing. If he wants to talk to us, he can do. If not, I'll just leave him alone. No response again. So, to such a message, which I thought was quite nice. That really pissed me off, to be honest. You just completely blanking me. Still no response. I think I checked like the 24th, like Christmas Eve. Still no response. You can see he's read the messages. Now on the 25th, I'm sat downstairs with my family on Christmas Day. And I think somebody messaged me on Facebook to say Happy Christmas or something. And it pops up on the messages, right? Of your list of messages. And I could see that it was a plus symbol, like he'd removed me. So on Christmas Day, he signed into his Facebook account and his gaming accounts and completely removed me. That's what he did on Christmas. He thought, you know what, this guy that's trying to be nice to me, he's trying to reason and try and explain the situation, I'll remove him. But interestingly enough, the person that went into TeamSpeak, talked all the shit, had the big argument, he's still friends on Facebook with him. He's still friends on Steam with him and everything. It's a really interesting situation because I have done nothing wrong, I believe. He won't explain why he's not talking to me. He won't message me. He won't respond. He's removed me off everything apart from Path of Exile and a few other games. So it's like, I don't quite understand it. This is what I'm trying to explain. Maybe somebody else has had a similar experience, but he's decided that, you know what, fuck you, I'm removing and blocking you on Facebook, but I'm going to keep you on Steam so I can see when you sign in or something, but yet still ignore your messages, but not remove you. So he decided to remove me on Facebook and other things, but he's keeping me on a few other platforms where he can see when I sign in, but he's not removing me, but he's also not responding. And I'm just sat there thinking, it's incredibly annoying that somebody that I haven't done anything wrong over all these years, over RMT in a game, has decided to say, fuck you, I'm going to ignore you, but not remove you, right? If he's got that much of a problem with me, why wouldn't he remove me off everything, right? I don't get it. And I just wanted to explain the situation as to why there's only 2 people ever on my stream now. It's because apparently I've done something wrong. Apparently, through eating pizza downstairs and tuning into TeamSpeak and finding out he RMT'd, and then me acting like an adult and trying to speak to him, apparently that is merit for just completely ignoring me. So there's nobody I can talk to about this, right? I can't be like, hey, X person in my life, have you ever had a situation where you've known somebody for 10 years over the internet and then they steal a virtual item, an RMT, and then they completely remove and ignore you? How can I explain that to somebody? So, yeah, I don't know. That is the situation. And if for some amazing reason he's listening, I have no problem with you. I just don't understand why am I being ignored. I don't get it. I really do not understand. We've had one argument before. And it was similar stuff, right? And he just completely ignored me off everything again. I just don't get it. And this is why it's been so annoying. It's because I don't get it, man. Like, what the fuck is going on? Also, I bought this for 9 exalts. I'm selling it for 11. Woohoo. We're selling the claw build. We've got to take off this MTX. But I don't know. I just had to explain this. I was laid in bed last night. I was laid in bed watching a stream, and I was getting really fucking annoyed. I was like, why is he ignoring me? There's nobody else I can speak to about this. So I just had to explain the situation because I had to get it off my chest. I had to get it out there. Maybe get some other people's feedback because I don't know what the fuck is going on. So there we have it, man. Cheers. Fuck, man. It's just such an annoying situation. And it's really annoying because I'm pretty sure he's doing it. Because obviously when you speak to somebody for 10 years, you know what annoys them. He must know that silent treatment is like #1 on my list, is because it's like treating me like a child. It doesn't exactly fill me with the desire to speak to him again. When somebody over 10 years goes, you know what, fuck you, I'm going to ignore you and treat you like a child, even though you're trying to resolve the situation like an adult. So it's really fucking annoying. That was how RMT, I guess, sort of killed a 10-year friendship, because he's just ignoring me. I don't get why. And normally I would never put something like this in the public. But honestly, I just felt like explaining the situation to the very few fucking stream viewers that were watching at the time to see what's gone on. Because that's what happened. Like, that's what came of it. And yeah, fuck. That's all I got to say. I'm going to restart the stream.